We're going to learn how to do something that is called correlations. We're going to evaluate correlations. We're going to learn how to create scatter plots and then evaluate those. And there are really three types of correlations that we're going to learn about. And they are positive correlations, negative correlations, or relationships that have no correlation. And they mean exactly what you would think they mean. A positive correlation is one in which we have a scatter plot, and this graph is an example of a scatter plot. It's just a set of x and y coordinates. Positive correlations go up. They don't necessarily go up in a straight line. In fact, usually they're not perfectly straight, but they go up. A negative correlation then, of course, goes down. And then no correlation, for now, we're going to define no correlation as just being not positive and not negative. So usually no correlation means it's sort of just like a cloud of points where there's not really any sort of pattern, something like that. No correlation gets a little trickier as we learn more shapes besides just linear functions. So sometimes we can have correlations that make a quadratic shape or an exponential shape. We're not going to worry about that for now. Right now, we're just going to define our correlations as being three types: positive, negative, and no correlation. Now, when we look at this graph, it is a graph that is comparing hours and wages, and we can see that our correlation is positive, meaning what? How can we describe this correlation? Well, hours, as they get higher, means that our wages also get higher. So we would say as hours increases, wages increases. Essentially, what this means is if you work more hours, you get more money, and that is a positive correlation. A negative correlation in this situation wouldn't really make a lot of sense. You work more hours, you get less money. And then no correlation in this situation would mean that your pay is completely unrelated to the amount of money you make. This is true for teachers. Teachers are paid the same amount every month, no matter how many hours we work. A salary employee is what that's called. There would be no correlation for a salaried employee between number of hours and their wages because you get paid the same no matter how many hours you work. So this is a correlation for an hourly employee, meaning they're paid a certain amount of money every hour. So the more hours they work, the higher their wages are.